Hey, welcome to Caching in the Northwest. This is the official podcast of GeoWoodstock 18 right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, it's Thursday night, 9 p.m. Pacific, and I'm Chris of the Northwest, and we're going to talk about geocaches and geocachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're deciding what your next streaming service will be, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
Is it something provided by CompuServe?
Oh, it could be.
No. Oh, streaming. That'll never catch on. Well, hello. And, welcome tonight. We're talking about All Hail the Triad. So I think it has something to do with, I don't know, Captain Nemo or whoever Ariel's dad was that I can't remember the name of thing. That was a trident. That wasn't a triad. Dent. Harvey Dent. Okay, before I get way too much off in the weeds here, I'm going to say it's time to bring in our Triad Tamarin. Why not? Some say, well, he's got a doctorate in dad jokes. And others say, well, I'm just going to let you wonder what they say because we're just out of fresh ideas. Send some in. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
Hello, my friends. Good to see you. How's everybody doing tonight?
Apparently not creative enough to come up with a second thing for you.
I thought it was crowdsourced at this point.
I'm just totally brain dead.
Oh, all right. Well, we hook you up to the car battery and see what we can get jump started for Jim.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we're cooking.
The car's
all right. Well, we'll start with a quick reminder that we appreciate the support of our patrons who keep this podcast coming each and every week. Thanks to Land Sharks, one of our corporate Denali level sponsors. Hey, reminder that Land Sharks have an upcoming Caribbean geocaching cruise, or Caribbean, depending how you like to say it, if you're a pirate or not, apparently. That is going to be taking place in January 2023, but you can book it now. So visit travel.landsharkswiththez.ca and look for upcoming cruises. Check it all out on landsharks.ca. And of course, our other corporate Denali level sponsor, well, that's Gold Country Geotourism. And hey, if you're thinking of going for the Triad, well, why don't you head north first and go check out Gold Country Geotour. Visit exploregoldcountry.com to learn more about the Geotour and the region. You can find them on Facebook at Explore Gold Country. And of course, as we said, on the web at exploregoldcountry.com. And if you want to know more about supporting this here very podcast, well, folks, why don't you head on over to our website, click that Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website. And I'm going to try and stop making that clicking noise with my tongue because it's probably super irritating to anybody listening to the podcast in headphones.
Well, just like
there's all kinds of crazy, irritating things we can do when we're talking. Yes.
And I know how to do all of them.
Excellent. Well, we're here to irritate, if nothing else.
Well,
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to jump in there and say chat room, active chat, live chat, whatever you want to call it. We just love the participation of all of our peoples. And if you want to be involved tonight, and we know you do, and we want you to, use the hashtag Triad in the chat to add to the show tonight. And, of course, you can use that other hashtag FATAS to bring up a topic for the after show. Oh, one more? One more, you say? Two's not enough? Use hashtag podcast baking to tell us what you're cooking there tonight.
Nice.
I'm hungry.
It's very nice, yes?
Apparently it is.
Ich habe Hunger.
All right. Well, I'm taking a look at the show notes. It doesn't look like we have any news. I know.
Yeah, well, unlike me, they look kind of thin.
Sorry, what's that?
Unlike me, they look kind of thin.
Yeah. We're a little thin on news tonight, but it is Blue Switch.
It is Blue Switch weekend, yes.
Yeah.
Nothing big about it.
It's news.
Nothing big. It's just blue.
It is arguably the best thing to come out of the Clinton administration.
Well, it's the best blue thing to come out of the Clinton administration. Let's just park that there.
Wow. Land Monkey.
Yeah. What's up, man?
Family friendly show, please.
Well, it
Or
was.
maybe I just took it there.
It's the White House. I don't know what would be blue, but
Oh,
anyway.
All right.
yeah.
So what are we talking about tonight, Chris?
Well,
Blueberry
I've had
pies.
a lot of people ask me about the Triad. There's this thing going on this summer that's going to attract a lot of people to the Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
There is.
And one of the things that the Northwest has is the Triad. And, people ask, well, first of all, how far do I really have to go? How big is this thing?
Well, Chris's house and my house are pretty close together, but Land Monkey's at some distance. So
yeah, I was going to say, I was
so if
looking
you
at
want to hit all
the.
three of our houses,
yeah,
Yeah.
that is
makes
the triad we're speaking of, right?
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't it?
It's like a big
And-
isosceles triangle.
And
Mhm.
it's creepy if you show up at all of our houses. So just don't.
Especially at the same time.
Yes. No, that's not creepy. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Right.
Well done, Dr. Brown.
I
It's
can
bigger
do
on the
this.
It's bigger on the inside. It's a bunch of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff there that we won't go into tonight.
GSM times 2 popcorn, but he didn't bake it.
Popcorn is a meal.
So
It's
is it
often for me.
podcast popping instead of
be.
podcast baking?
Popcast?
Maybe we shouldn't start adding another hashtag quite yet, but
No.
Keats wants to know, why is it a blue? Why is the blue switch blue?
because it's
I wanted
lonely
to throw
and
in
it's
pink
sad.
because it's in space.
Because it needs cheering up.
There you go.
Oh yes, it
It
was
got
very
switched
sad.
once, and that was it. It's lonely. It's blue.
Yeah, I don't know why it's blue.
Ba-da-dee, ba-da-doo.
Okay, Triad. The Triad is the Triad is. It's a single thing. The three caches, the iconic caches here of the Northwest. That's GC headquarters, the Ape Cache, and the original stash plaque. And wow, yeah. So I get a lot of questions to say, can you do it in a day? I mean, can we just take a day, knock all three of these out, and be done?
Sure. Thanks
Maybe.
for joining us tonight. Oh, wait.
Short episode. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
That was a great episode. All right. I think one of the things though, and I noticed, Chris, that you put some driving times and distances in the show notes to talk about, and that's all assuming that you start from where?
Well, I kind of thought starting from HQ.
Okay.
And then because from there, it's kind of all southish.
I was going to say it's like the furthest north point, technically.
Yeah.
So
So
it's like an upside down triangle, right?
Yeah. I think
Well,
that's the hardest point of the three to start at, though.
Because you have to schedule your visit.
To do it in a day. Let me clarify. Yes.
Yeah.
okay. So
So I would say really can you do it in a day? Probably, but I would say, and also given what is going to be going on this August, that people really plan 2 days to do the Triad properly and enjoy it, because as we were just saying, if you want to visit HQ, and it is the furthest north point, it is also where the event's going to take place. So you could actually, it would make maybe more sense to end there. But anyways, regardless, you will have to schedule your visit, and you can go online and do that. And depending on the traffic,
Yeah.
GSM
Yeah,
Tennessee, for sure,
Yeah.
in the greater Seattle area.
yeah. So I went and grabbed some information from each
Yeah.
one of these caches, right? So let's start with the headquarters, right? Because this is the one that you probably have to do more planning for than any of the others. So the visitor center is now open at HQ, and they're open Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 11:30, 12:30 to 4:30. So basically they're open from 9:30 to 4:30, closed for an hour and lunch in the middle there.
Yeah.
Okay. And here's the
Makes
key:
sense.
by reservation only. They are closed Saturday, Sundays, holidays, and during office closures, right? They'll have that listed on the webpage. You go check that out. But this is a big change because they were only open Fridays for the pandemic. I seem to remember.
Okay. Well, that's good. And it's going to be super popular during the week
Yes.
of the Pacific Northwest events. So, obviously we're talking about GeoWoodstock and the 20th anniversary celebrations, and that week in between. Boy, if you're planning to get there, you better get online and book your visit now. Yeah, that's all I can
Yeah.
say on that.
So plan for at least 30 minutes there if you want to take the tour. And 30 minutes may be short. 30 minutes, you can go in, sign the logbook, peek around, and walk out.
I was going to
But-
say, like, Chris, you mentioned take the tour. Like, are they actually hosting tours through the office, or is it more just sort of, when you say tour, like going into the visitor center area and exploring it and seeing everything that's in there? Because there is quite a bit to see in that area.
Let me go click on a web page here for you.
It
Okay.
can be kind of self-guided if the receptionist looks the other way.
Yeah.
And that 30 minutes may not be enough if you're left alone in the break room with the available snack machines.
And taps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I've had visiting options. You can visit us at the visitor center, and completing the HQ Geo tour are totally free. As a working office, we don't give tours of the office space. Now, so there is a tour that goes just through the visitor center area, right? And
there's plenty to see and enjoy there. They've got a photo booth that's lots of fun, and a huge chest of trackables. We were just there actually a couple of weeks ago, so
the big screen showing logs as they happen live. They jump around the world. Sorry.
The universe.
So yes, there is a tour, and that's what the Welcome Center director person. I don't know the official host. There you go. Thank you. Is going to, show you around, show you some of the trackables that went into space, some that are, done other marvelous things, as well as some of the stuff you can buy and the history of geocaching. So it's actually quite a nice little visit there.
Yeah, they have quite a few, as you were saying, quite a few trackables to discover, but they also have a selection of books out on the picnic table that you can thumb through, and various geocaching related books and pictures and things. Yeah, it's a neat place to spend. I think half an hour is a fair amount of time just so you can enjoy it. And I think they're only allowing a certain number of people in at a time, which is why they have the reservation system, so that it doesn't get all backed up. And nobody wants to be all backed up.
Do they have a picnic basket on the picnic table?
On the picnic table? I don't know, Boo Boo. We'll have to go take a look.
No, because Yogi has been there. Now, to actually claim this geocache find, this is a very special one. You get a unique icon for it. You have to sign the logbook. You can't just walk in, say, "Yep, I was here," run back out because I've got more geocaching to do. Now, this is something new as well. The HQ Cache logbook is available outside the visitor center doors. That wasn't something I've seen before. So, and that's Monday through Friday, anytime from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You do not need an appointment to sign the logbook and log the HQ Cache, but you must book an appointment to enter the visitor center.
Okay, that's cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So, if you go to the visitor centers, you can find the HQ geocache and sign the logbook. You can capture the moment in the photo booth. You can discover over 50 rare trackable items. Like 51 is over 50.
True.
You can
I'm
add
over 50.
the HQ souvenir to your account. You can browse exclusive HQ merchandise at the gift shop. And if I'm not mistaken, they have items at the HQ gift shop that you can't get online. You can't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
So thank you. Look at that. Brian Lang says the HQ has some unique merchandise that's not available on shopgeocaching.com. Yes. And of course, you can learn about the HQ Geo Tour and get a passport. So GSM times 2 says my Triad GeoCoin could only be purchased at the visitor center.
There you go.
Oh, maybe you want to make that your last stop so you can purchase that souvenir coin.
Yeah, that would work too. I noticed you mentioned the passport for doing the HQ Geo Tour. So you can also collect your coin, I think, if you complete the HQ Geo Tour before you get there. So depending on what order you want
Is
to
there
do.
a coin for the tour?
I thought there was. Maybe there isn't anymore. Maybe that was a limited time thing.
I'm looking to see if I have one, and I don't think I did. I started the Geo Tour so many years ago, and then finished it because they were only open on Fridays, and the library cache was closed on the library was closed on Fridays. So I had to come back another day, and I wasn't up there very often, but I took the original sheet with me, and the host had never seen the original sheet, and I handed it then and said, what is this?
What darkness have you brought?
No, this was, one from, I put the date on it. Let's say it was 7 years ago. Are you kidding? Look, come here and look at this.
Too funny.
So HQ, great place to stop. They've made some changes. Maybe this is in anticipation of the rush this summer of having you were just there, Land Monkey. Was the logbook outside?
The logbook, now that you mention it, yes, the logbook was outside the glass doors. You could walk up and it was on a little pedestal there and sign it there. And the doors are, I don't say locked, but they have a security thing. So yeah, I guess locked.
You buzzed in.
You buzz in, and you check in immediately at the front desk, and you when you make your reservation, you get you can print out or just have on your phone, however you choose to do it. But you have like a little QR code and your information, and they'll validate that you are in fact signed up.
You hold that phone up to the door and say, see, I'm supposed to be here.
As a tear
in,
comes down your cheek. Yeah, exactly. But I logged in.
You missed your appointment by 3 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Let you in now.
Sorry, what was that, Chris?
You missed your appointment by 3 minutes. We're not going to let you in now.
That's right.
And we're walking and we're walking and we're stopping.
That's right. Be there promptly for the tour. But yeah, no, it was a really great experience. It's really well run. And I believe, there you go. Just Finding Our Way says, for the HQ Geo Tour, you do have to buy the coin. So there you go. So maybe I bought it and I just forgot that I bought it, but it was a long time ago when I got that.
Let me tell you something, Sonny.
That's right.
It's in the before time.
I remember. Yeah. No, good stuff. So yeah, definitely a highlight of the Triad. All three stops are a highlight in different ways, but HQ Geo Tour, or the tour, the visit at HQ is definitely worth doing. It's, in some ways it's the Mecca. In some ways you could say any one of the three spots is the Mecca, but
yeah, exactly.
I guess all three combined.
So from HQ to the Tunnel of Light, it's a bit of a drive. It's about it's about 64 miles. It's about an hour, 45-minute drive without traffic. 8 hours with traffic.
Say, how often is there without traffic on that route? That's funny.
And there really are two ways to get to the Tunnel of Light.
Helicopter.
Yeah, that would be a really good one.
Just
parachute.
Parachute.
Parachute's harder to get back out with, though.
But isn't that how DB Cooper got there?
Yeah.
I think he hit
say we had to get back out. He just had to get to it.
Okay.
Catapult. Trebuchet.
Oh, I like the trebuchet.
All good options. Rocket.
Got a little, less jolting launch.
Yes, I prefer to travel by map.
There you go. We'll go where there's cheese, Gromit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Keith says, GC that letter, which will not be named, is not included in the triad. I guess that would make it a quadrad or quadrilateral. Lateral.
The quad.
Which, yeah, you. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so many travel options. Just note that the power lines above the ape cache may block most forms of aerial.
Just makes it more challenging. Yeah,
just got to get
have to
around.
be more
increases the
precise.
difficulty.
It's that last little loop you need to make.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one.
Stick the landing though.
Superhero landing. It's hard
Yeah.
on the knees, but it looks cool. So once you get off of I-90 and you start meandering your way back to the ape cache, you can get off. You can get onto the John Wayne Pioneer Trail. It's the shortest route.
Mhm.
The John Wayne Pioneer Trail, also known as the Iron Horse Trail. It begins from the Iron Horse Trailhead at Hyak, Hyak, Hyak. You're going to have to learn to pronounce these words once you come out here. And that's right off of exit 54 of I-90. The trailhead has an expansive parking lot operated by the state parks with restroom facilities, and it's the major access point for the 2.25 mile long Snoqualmie Tunnel, the feature for which the cache is named. Now, you will need a Discover Pass to park at this trailhead. Discover Pass. You need that one here. The round trip distance is right around 6 miles or 10K, and there's very little elevation gain.
That's from parking to cache back to your vehicle. That's what
Right.
The round trip is. Okay. Not from HQ to Tunnel of Light. That's much.
No.
No. From trailhead to cache and back.
10-kilometer hike. Yeah, that's not bad.
No.
You can, because it's a rails to trail, you can also, if you happen to bring your bicycles, you can ride your bike.
If you're from out of state, you can rent bicycles nearby.
Yeah.
And take them up there, go for a ride.
Yeah, because it is from a rail bed, the elevation gain is very nominal. It's very flat.
Yeah.
Right. Rylang says,
easy.
I think you meant expensive, not expansive parking lot. It's $10 for the daily Discover Pass.
Well, okay, but here's the thing: like if you're coming geocaching for several days in Washington State, you're probably going to want to hit a few state parks. So the annual pass, which is only $30 US, allows you to visit any state park in Washington.
Right. On that fourth state park, you're making money.
You're making money. Is that how
you're
works?
making money? Yeah, that's what you're doing.
There's
You're
money
making
appearing in my wallet just by showing up. At state park.
It's just like that room map behind my house. So.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, now the other way is the Annette Lake Trailhead, and this is located off Interstate 90 at exit 47. It's the Denny Creek exit, and you go around and figure your way out. Now, if you stay on this trail, you will join up.
I love your directions.
I'm not going to give you direct. They have
the exit. Now figure your way out.
You'll figure your way. It's a waypoint on the cache. You're going to find your way to get there.
Fair enough.
For the ape.
You want me to tell you? You turn south at the exit of the junction of Tinkham Road. That's Forest Road 55, in case you didn't know. Then you go left for a 1/4 mile to the large parking lot. Okay.
Excellent.
You keep
Thank
on
you,
this
Chris.
trail. Thank you. Until you get to the Iron Horse Trail, and then you'll be able to get over to the cache. Now, to park here at the Annette Annette Lake Trailhead, you need the Northwest Forest Pass. That can be a day pass, an annual pass. That can be the America the Beautiful Pass,
which is the National Park Pass.
Which is the National Park Pass. Yeah.
So the National Park Pass will work for the Northwest Forest.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, I always get confused with that.
Mm-hmm.
I find the Discover Pass is very straightforward, and then
right. In case you want to know, we're talking about Annette Lake, and Annette is listening.
Okay.
Her ears perked up.
Yeah. and this is a little shorter hike. It's 4 miles round trip. That's 6.4 kilometers. So if you're looking for speed, this may be it, but you also have 575 feet or 175 meter elevation gain.
Yeah, it's a good hike.
Not terrible,
So
but it's more work than the tunnel is very flat. This is not.
right. This is a switchback.
Yeah.
It's going to get you up there. Bryling says the Northwest Forest Pass is $5 a day, or get the annual pass, which covers national forest, parks, monuments, historic sites, etc. For what,
Yeah.
$30, I believe.
Chris, can you bring up the comment from Lori from Seabeck Tribe?
I would love to.
There, that one. I think this is the key thing. So if you are, if you're taking the flat level 10-kilometer route through the 2.5 mile tunnel, bring a bright flashlight and warm clothes. That's really good advice, Seabeck Tribe. Thank you, because it is
2 flashlights
and spare batteries. It is a
And the
long
backup.
tunnel, and it is incredibly dark.
I mean,
pitch black.
absolutely dark. Yes. You turn off the light, there is nothing you can see.
Yeah. But it's fun.
So-
It's a great adventure.
Oh.
Now, if you have issues with being in dark spaces,
don't go with Jay.
maybe reconsider your route. Maybe go the elevation route instead.
Yep.
But it's fun. It's a really neat time. Of course, the best time to go is if you can time it with Going Ape. But we're recognizing that a lot of people aren't going to be able to match up the Going Ape event because it's going to happen much later in early September. So most people are probably going to be doing this when they come down to Seattle and up to first up to GeoWoodstock and then down to Seattle.
So that's kind of why I started this from the north. I figured you're coming from the north to south, so you would hit these as you were coming down. Warm clothes are important. It's about 50 degrees year round in that tunnel. And because
it's quite
a
balmy. Oh, you mean Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit, yeah.
Freedom
What
units.
is that? Oh, in freedom units.
Yeah. Yes.
What is
50
that?
Canadian units? 50 Canadian units is like, I don't know, 112 or something in freedom units. It's hot.
50 Fahrenheit is quite warm. Yeah. Or 50 Celsius.
50
I should say,
Celsius.
is quite warm. I don't know. Let's figure
So
this out.
bring warm clothes. Bring like rain
Layers.
gear type clothes too, because it's drippy in there.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
10 Celsius. That's pretty chilly.
And
Right.
there's usually a breeze because, once breeze comes in one end, it has to go out the other. So,
And
So
I joked
It's
about
true of so many things.
that's
I
right.
joked about 2 flashlights, but it's really serious. I mean, because as they say, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. If your flashlight gives up or your batteries give up in there, it's a long way out.
Your cell phone flashlight is not going to cut it.
It's not going to cut it.
No, don't. Yeah, absolutely. Do not say, "Oh, my cell phone is a flashlight. I'll be
don't
fine."
rely on that.
No. Definitely bring, and I agree with you, Jim. Bring
Yeah.
2 flashlights and some spare bats, and you'll be fine.
Night vision
Headlamp is a
goggles?
great option.
Yep. Night vision goggles are good.
That would work if you have those. Yes.
Yeah.
There is a geocache kind of in the middle if you
Mhm.
want to stop and get it.
There's
Right.
an earth cache in the midst too.
Yes, there's an earth cache there as well. And we can't tell you enough to bring extra flashlights and make sure they're bright, right? Just don't take your kid's toy flashlight and think that'll be enough, because it's not. That dark is serious, and it sucks up the light.
And we said it's a level path, but it's not 100% regular path. So in the sense that there's little dips and potholes and things. So again, right, you don't want to be feeling your way through there. You do want to have proper lighting and proper footwear, and just take your time going through. Although some people like to go through really fast. Fair enough.
I mean, there's no reason you can't go through fast. UDAC says there's a great table at the end of the tunnel, so you can bring a picnic lunch.
Good point.
And there's also restrooms there at the far end of the tunnel.
Yeah, pit toilet.
Is there when you're on the outside?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And if you're there, with lots of other people, there's lines.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you wait for the Going Ape event, there will be lines at those pit toilets.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not too bad usually,
No,
though.
it's not terrible.
Cool.
So there you
Anything
go.
else?
2 ways to get to the ape cache.
Oh,
You,
you know what I was going to say, Chris? Like another
or
thing
just
is,
take a net with you.
there
You can
you
take a
go.
net on the John Wayne Trail.
I was going to say another thing to do, and we talked about how could you do it in a day? You can cram it into 2 days. I think I would suggest if you're going up to that area to take your time, visit a couple other spots that
Yeah.
are very nearby. There's a great trail of challenge caches nearby. There's of course the cache which shall not be named on a very nearby um, beautiful hike nearby. And there's also Keishaless
Nearly
Lake,
deadly, nearly deadly hike.
Yeah.
depending on the individual. Yeah. Um, but also Keishaless Lake, which has a cache on an island, which is a T5 cache that in the right time of year you can walk to, which is kind
Yeah.
of cool.
Yeah.
Done that.
So can you do them in a day? Yes. You're going to miss out. You could do
Yeah.
the 3 caches in a day if you really planned it and boogied through.
It's
Yes,
one
I'm
of
going to
those
use that term.
one of those things that just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
Why not spend some more time and enjoy caching in the Northwest?
Oh, why?
Indeed.
You know what? With that, I think we could be done, even though we've only talked about 2 of the 3 triads.
It is the tagline. So
It's
yeah.
a good batting average.
Just Carlo mentioned you mentioned bikes earlier. How about cycling through the tunnel? Yes,
Yes.
cycling through the tunnel. Wits End and we've only done it once, right?
I believe we did it once in bikes.
And it was
Hiked it a
very
couple
pleasant.
times and biked once. Yeah.
Yeah, plenty of people bike through there.
Yeah.
Again, if you're going to bike through during Going Ape, maybe not a great idea because the tunnel's pretty crowded. But any other time of the year, the tunnel's not that busy, and as long as you've got proper lighting, yeah, it's very bikeable.
Mm-hmm. And we did bike during the Ape event, and it wasn't bad. I mean, you couldn't get up to full speed.
Right. You did.
I personally. Oh, go ahead. Wits End.
I would just say you'd have to be careful because there will be people in the tunnel who are not taking our advice and carrying flashlights. So
Or paying attention to
yeah,
anything around them because
Right.
this is so much fun and it's so unique. I had 2 flashlights on my bike, one pointing down to my front tire and one pointing forward to what was coming. And I found that to be a very good setup. So grab a couple of flashlights, a couple of bungee cords, and light up your bike.
Sounds like a plan. Bring up Dora Moore's comment. One more comment there, maybe about this.
This is interesting.
Yeah, this is a neat idea. So if you're caching with some other folks and you have 2 vehicles, Dora Moore says we parked a vehicle at each end of the trail. So one at the Annette Lake trailhead, and then
Mhm.
one at the John Wayne trailhead. And she says, so we only had to go through the tunnel once. They didn't have to do a return walk.
Nice.
So you would do the level walk, and then downhill. So that sounds
Yeah.
pretty smart. And she said there are some other very cool caches on the trail. And yes, there are indeed.
Yes, there are. Yeah, some older caches, 2-3 letter GC codes.
Mhm.
So yeah, some of those older ones that are really quite cool.
Indeed.
Let's see. 3ham says I walked the tunnel my first time during Ape. Very long walk. The second time I biked through, also during Ape. Brian Lang says I biked the tunnel twice, once for the tribute Ape cache, and the second time when the Ape cache was restored.
Right. Oh, have we talked about that yet? Maybe
just gonna
before we
say,
move
yeah.
on to the third piece of the triad, we can kind of mention that.
Please
Chris?
mention.
Well, I was going to say, Chris, like you're the one who did the interview with the recovery team. So why don't you tell the story?
So I don't have the time frame down. I don't remember when the original ammo can was stolen. It was replaced. It was stolen again, and they decided, you know what? The spirit of the ape caches is that once the original ammo can is gone, it's no longer an ape. So a group of cachers replaced the can, secured it quite well, and then you had the tribute cache, the ape tribute cache, where you didn't get the ape icon. Oh, did we mention there's a unique icon? Yes, there's a unique icon for this. It was back just to a traditional cache. And they still had the ape event, and you could still walk through the tunnel. You had the exact same experience to find the cache. If you go during the ape event, there's usually a couple of critters around that you might want to get a photo with, talk to. You know, you could interview a Bigfoot. I'm just saying. That's right. That's what he said. So,
But yeah, so yeah, good point, Chris. So the original container was found by a recovery team. Gosh, you'd have to go back to our catalog, but Chris does have an interview way back in our episodes, which is really interesting to listen to about the whole process of searching for, finding, and recovering the original ape cache. And so it is actually an ape cache icon again because a group of volunteers went and found the cache partway down the hillside. That's pretty impressive.
So, episode 173, the long lost ape cache.
Nicely
That
done.
was
a while ago.
2016.
I'm
Really?
just going to start randomly naming things we talked about on the podcast and see how quick Chris can bring up that episode number, because this is a fun game for me now.
Find the episode for zombies. Run!
Oh, wow. That's going way back in the catalog. Too funny. But yeah, so there you go. Yeah, and
Look at
thank
him.
you,
I can see
Chat
the
Lackey,
smoke
sharing the link to
coming
that
off his
episode if
face,
folks want to listen to that one.
Yeah.
Huh.
Good
How
stuff.
come I don't see zombies run?
I don't know.
I'm sure we talked about it.
I know. we have.
Anyways.
I'm not sure we should have, but I'm sure we did.
Well, there's one more piece of the triad.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
Finishing our triad discussion, where it all began.
Where did it all begin? Please tell.
We end at the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Back in 2000, because that was 20 years ago. I know that because we're doing the 20th anniversary party this year. Therefore, it must have been 20 years ago.
Sure. The last 2 years don't count for anything.
They don't count at all. Dave Ulmer hit a 5-gallon bucket down outside of Portland, Oregon. And he placed a DeLorme Topo USA 2 CD-ROMs, a cassette recorder, a George of the Jungle VHS tape, a Ross Perot book, 4 $1 bills, a slingshot handle, and the now notorious original can of beans. Now the OCB trackable. Seems that up until that point in time in 2000, selective availability had been enabled, which was something that the government turned on to intentionally obfuscate accuracy of GPS coordinates for military and government purposes. Once they turned that off, well, just your average land monkey could get accurate coordinates with a handheld device down to just a few meters. So that's what opened up the doors to all of these in-car navigation systems and geocaching that we know and love today.
Exactly. So yeah, that's Dave Ulmer made the hide.
Yeah.
I think
He
Mike
thought,
Teague is the name of the. Sorry.
He thought, "Oh, this will be fun. Let's see who
Yeah.
can find this."
Yeah.
I'm betting beer was involved somewhere.
Hold my beer.
Yeah.
I think Mike Teague was the guy who said, "Hold my beer. I'm going to find this bucket." Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So and Mike did the first swap. He took the money, left some cigarettes, a cassette tape, and a pen, and the whole idea of trade fairly began.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can't actually go find that original bucket anymore.
Oh,
Yeah. Apparently,
Why
an
not?
Oregon road crew mowed it down, so to speak. And I do have to say, I was a little surprised. The three of us went and found that cache, our very first in-person road trip together. And I was very surprised at just how close it was. I expected to hike somewhere. Nope. Pull off the road. Oh, there it is right there. So
right there.
it's no big surprise that
Don't drive over it.
Yeah, that a road crew mower mowed it down.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's not a lot of room to pull off
no.
next to this plaque. It's at the bend of a road on the outside of the bend, and yeah, it's just right there. So
not a lot of room for an icy bear either.
No.
No, that was up the hill a little bit.
That wasn't there. But
The
they have
headless icy bear.
they have placed a plaque in tribute of the original location, so you can at least see the spot. And as Doramore says, be careful not to park on the spot, or you won't see the
could
plaque.
actually do that.
You really could.
Yeah. Now, will that help your in-car navigation? Because if you put your GPS on there, it's supposed to be blessed and get you better coordinates. So,
Well, yes, but that's for a handheld GPS. As we all know, in-car navigation systems are just horrible, and there is no hope for any of them.
That's what I was going to say. Nothing can help in-car
That's right.
navigation systems.
Yeah, no.
Even the original Stash tribute plaque
Right.
doesn't have enough magical
Chutzpah.
juice. Yeah. All right. But yeah, very cool to check out that plaque. It's a beautiful plaque on the ground there, which is why there's lots of jokes here about don't park on it. But you can walk up, take some pictures with it, at it, near it, of it. It's a neat place to stop. And then on the road up and a little bit of a hike in behind there as well, there's a few more really great caches with lots of favorite points.
Yeah, there are some excellent caches around this that, you could easily spend a day just hitting these caches and going, wow, I had a great day. This was a lot of fun.
Which we did.
Yes, exactly. I still remember my wife going, you don't know this person and you're getting in their car and traveling out of state with them?
Yeah. And my wife saying, we don't know these people and we're taking them into our vehicle and driving out of state with them.
Yeah.
My wife just said, bye, have fun.
Have fun storming the castle.
Yeah, basically.
It'll take a miracle. So yeah, lots of fun. These are all great caches and worthy of taking your time to go find and spend some time there. Find the nearby caches. Did we mention the geo tour around the headquarters? Take time and do that. It's worth it.
Yeah. So
even
honestly,
if you have to buy your own geo coin.
You could spend a day for each of the three spots, really, and make it kind of a 3-day adventure, and you would really thoroughly enjoy each of the 3 days. Or you could try and condense it down to 2 days. I don't know. I think 1 day is a stretch. I really not sure you could pull it off in 1 day. Now, I have just been accepted on that challenge, I'm sure, by many geocachers. Like, oh yeah, hold my beer, monkey.
Well,
I can do it in a day.
Like we said, I think you can, but you're missing out on stuff.
Yeah.
So why?
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, Bryling said somewhere along here that, here it is. If you want to do it, all three caches in a day, start in Portland, hit the original Stash plaque very early in the morning, then go do GCHQ, and then finally the 8th.
Yeah, and I guess if your intent is for GCHQ, you don't want to do the tour, you just want to log it, then yeah, it's really not going to take. It's going to take you as much time as it takes you to find parking, and then go in, sign the log, get back out. So that in theory wouldn't take that long, but again, like Jim said, you're kind of cheating yourself a little bit. You're going to miss out on some of the fun. And
really, to go from the original Stash to the Ape cache is about a 4.5-hour drive. So
yeah, it's a big haul.
It's a good haul. It's it's well over 200 miles, about 237 according to Google. So let's say 250 with stops for restroom breaks.
Yeah, food, all that stuff.
There you go. Yeah, we've got lots of feedback here. Just finding our way. Said there's several oldie caches near the original, so it's well worth a day in Oregon. Absolutely. Yep, agree with that.
And you get another state if you don't have Oregon. Right?
Yeah, good point.
You could stroll around downtown Portland nonchalantly with an umbrella.
Yeah. As one does.
As one does. IHAM says 1 day would be a chore, not any fun.
Yeah.
But
your mileage may vary, as they say, right? Like some people that's exciting
Mhm.
for them, right? It's like, I can do it. It's their achievement to get it out. So you know what? If that floats your boat, go for it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, I've had several people ask me, "Can you do it in a day?" So I thought, you know what? Instead of saying you probably don't want to, let's break it out a little more, and then I'll say, "Hey, go listen to episode 457."
Perfect. Good stuff, Chris. Now, Chris,
Now,
you had added one more thing that isn't officially part of the triad, but it's a fourth stop of interest.
that's right. It's the center of the Triad challenge. Now, you have to make this one last because in order to claim it, you have to have claimed the other three first. Okay. So this cache is to commemorate the three most famous caches in the global positioning stash hunt, starting with the first cache ever placed. Now, remember how we said you might need that Northwest Forest day pass?
Mhm.
Yeah, you're going to need it if you want this one too. And it can be purchased at nearby towns and gas stations, but it can't be purchased once you get out to the trail. So if you decide, you know what, I'll risk it. What's the worst that can happen? A $250 fine is what can happen. Instead of $5 and a little pre-planning,
Yeah.
$250, and there goes your souvenir budget for the rest of the week.
Right.
Well, you have a pretty hefty souvenir budget. That's pretty
Maybe.
good. Do you have a GC code for this?
Yes, I do.
Please share.
He's
Oh.
keeping it a secret.
That's GC1.
Yes, I do, and you can't have it.
That's it. Yeah.
Whiskey Yankee Hotel. Oh, I forgot N.
November.
1 Whiskey Yankee Hotel November,
Excellent. Thank you, Chris,
or something like that.
for something like that. Very cool. All right. So that's, once you've done the triad, if you still have the time and you want to go exploring and put the cherry on top, as it were, you could go find Shellrick's Center of the Triad Challenge. There you go.
It's right in the middle.
Supposedly.
Per the name.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot of fun. Oh, thank you, Brylang. You just mentioned things, and suddenly screens, illuminate with the words you have said. I don't know how it works.
Research department.
Zombies, run.
Brylang says the biggest challenge is to do the triad in a day is Seattle traffic.
I would say so, yeah. And I think the other thing is, it's going to be a busy week for people. So again, I'm thinking if you were starting at GeoWoodstock, and I would suggest not leaving immediately after GeoWoodstock and bolting down, but spend at least another day, because there's some geo tours to do and such. So plan to have the Sunday at least, and then Monday or Tuesday you start making your way down south. You can actually run at a decent pace, get your visit to HQ booked throughout that week, make your trip over to HQ, make your trip over to the ape cache and the surrounding caches there, and have a nice, enjoyable experience down at the original plaque. I have no idea when that's going to be busiest. I'm going to guess maybe like the Friday and the Sunday around the HQ event might be the busiest days for the original stash.
Could be, yeah.
I think throughout that week, there'll probably be a queue of vehicles going up that road.
Yeah, the local residents are going to go, what is all the traffic?
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Very good. So Chris, anything else on that?
I think that pretty much covers what I had in my notes.
I think it's pretty comprehensive. So hopefully people have enjoyed this episode, got some useful information. I think there was tons of great information, not just from the research Chris did and shared, but also from everybody in the chat who has been participating and throwing in great tips and advice and memories as well. So thank you, everybody, for your help with this.
From the corners of our mind. Misty, watercolored memories.
That's right.
of the geocaches that were. Hey, folks, thanks for listening to this episode. We hope you enjoyed caching in the Northwest.
Indeed, but don't hang up quite yet. There's a little more to come a little later. But before we do that, we want to take a moment to thank Landsharks and Gold Country Geotourism, our corporate Denali level sponsors. Landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online. And remember, they ship orders daily. And for absolutely amazing geocaching adventures, check out exploregoldcountry.com for the Gold Country Geo Tour. And of course, we want to thank all of our faithful Denali level supporters, Landsharks, Gold Country Geotourism, Team Squirrel Groovy Owl, and Cachly, the geocaching app. If you want to know more about supporting this show, well, head on over and click that Patreon link on the cachingandw.com a website.
Nice. Like You Talks to Rocks did.
And Dora Moore.
Kitty Quest.
Wino Seattle.
Trexer.
Doing all the maths. It's Limax.
Kev MacD, who's getting a new suit, by the way.
Ooh. Log work.
Hey, live in the chat tonight, I saw him in there. Kid Vegas 19.
How about CRS 98?
Ackerduck.
Recently friended me on Duolingo. B Pendragon.
In what language did he friend you?
Well, I'm studying German, but I don't know if that means he's also studying the same language.
How about MNerve?
RE54321.
On a boot.
MC3 Cats.
Broncos fan for life.
Skyhawker.
Ooh. Our favorite kitchen appliance, the LG 9000.
Keats 94.
Giving us great safety advice about the tunnel, Seebeck Tribe.
Kind people, green words.
Sprouter.
Peach of Washington.
That's accurate.
Tonight.
Alarobrick.
Korsgat.
Untias.
You, Dak.
Tick Magnet.
T. Sayer.
I'm going to say it. Terrible Lunch. Great geocacher. Gas station tuna.
Subway Mark.
Not sure about what kind of a lunch this would be, but a great geocacher. 3 hams and a rose.
Salty, but you smell good.
Oh, dude.
GeoNav Pro.
Genies.
Just finding our way.
Boomer 365.
Team Noltex.
Sege Hove.
The Geo Travelers.
Cannel Barb.
GSM ×2.
In the chat, I think all of them, the Camp Clan.
All right. Fairwood West.
Donners.
And of course, spill your drink, you get a wet coaster. Ah, so very nice. I don't think 3 hams like that, huh? A little salty, but you smell good. 3 hams in a row.
maybe that won't be a regular
Okay.
comment. I don't know.
B Pendragon is doing Swedish. In Duolingo.
There you go. Excellent. Good to know.
Nice. Now, I didn't necessarily have an at last question, but I thought of a fun idea.
Okay.
What do you think if you threw out some ideas, you know, this or that, and you had to pick one quickly, right? Like pie or cake?
Bye.
Cake.
Cars or motorcycles?
Motorcycles.
Motorcycles, yeah.
Car guy. Okay.
Jeep.
Earth cache or mystery?
Mystery.
Earth cache.
I got to go with mystery on that one. What are some path tag or not geocoin? What are the other ones? How come I can't think of
Like
it?
a trackable tag?
A
Travel
tag. Yeah.
Trackable tag.
Oh.
It's a wash.
Okay.
No preference. How about that?
There you go.
There you go. Well, that was the ones I could think of. What do you guys think of?
I don't know.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
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 I like cats too, but
Hey, while we're chit chatting here, GSM times 2 put up, nope, one more.
Oh,
Go one
Ginger
more
or
up.
Marianne?
Marianne, nice, I love it. Go up. His
Well, we got to
hashtag.
answer Ginger or Marianne.
Marianne.
Oh, do we have to answer that question?
Yeah,
I
Marianne.
refuse to answer on the grounds that it may incriminate me.
Okay. IHAM says iPhone or Android?
Palm
Android.
Pilot.
Pilot. Nicely
Windows
played,
Phone.
Jim.
Pumpry.
There you go. That's the one. He says, don't do the Triad in a day. You'll miss legacy caches, bounce caches, and goblin dust geocaches. So yeah, that's another good reason to take your time and pace through. There's so many great caches in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, it's like you're going to come here like, I want to find them all. And you won't be able to. So you're going to have to pick and choose. But, if you're going to plan it around the Triad, definitely on your route between some of those spots, you can definitely hit some bounce and goblin dust caches. So that's great advice. Thank you, GSM times 2.
There you go. Hey, folks, thanks for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com, a website. If you didn't like the show, let us know what you want us to talk about. In either case, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and so many more. Subscribe and give us a review. You can also call into 253-693-TFTC and ask us a question, leave us a comment, or help us through the tunnel any time of the day or night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingnw.com. Join us every Thursday night, just like tonight, every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific, for a live show and chat. This show is produced by Chris Umpenauer, Jim Paulwitz, and Jay Kennedy. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2022 by Chris Umpenauer. And folks, I ask you to stay tuned for...
Oh,
Well, that was pitiful.
it's a,
The after show.
Much better. Second time's the charm.
ugly head.
Oh my gosh. Too funny.
Oh,
All right. What do we got started for the after show?
yeah. Mini Mag is on Caching in the Northwest, episode 90, planning your Northwest hikes.
Nice.
Maybe
Back
we
in
should
the
talk
archive
about
there.
Northwest hikes again.
Well, we do have some upcoming really interesting episodes
Yes, we do.
related to hiking in the Northwest. In a couple of weeks, we're going to have Adventure Smart returning back to the podcast. They've got a brand new video series they're just starting to release, and they'll have released all of them by the time they come on the podcast in a few weeks.
Nice.
And they are about British Columbia's 11 most I can't even remember the right wording.
Riskiest, was it? Or
Riskiest hikes. Yeah.
something
It's
like
basically the 11 hikes where search and rescue has to go and do the most rescue. So
Hmm.
it's not that they're the hardest hikes, but they're hikes that have a certain level of technical difficulty. And people just don't prepare properly for them. So what they've done, I've watched the first episode and it's great. And it's about the Stawamis Chief and the hike there. And they walk you through in about a 10-minute video. They walk you through the key things you need to know about the hike, key decision points you need to know about on the hike. It's anyways, I'm not going to go through more of it, but that is going to be an excellent episode about hiking in the Northwest. And then the next week, right after that, we've got friend of the show, Stephen Hoy, coming back on to talk about his brand new book. He'll have just released it. And we're really excited to have him on the show to talk about that. So that'll be cool.
That's right. How very cool. IHAM wants you to remember that I can do that.
Sorry, there's a bug flying in my studio, and it's attracted to the lights.
That's because you're outside.
No, I'm not. But it's really bothering me now. I guess that's why they're called bugs. Stupid thing. Anyways, go on. Well done. Now there's a throwback reference.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Maybe episode 90 or right around there
I
somewhere.
don't remember.
I don't know.
IHAM says you don't want to miss Johnny Island's throne room on the way north from the original stash.
Yeah,
I want to
that's a
say it's in
great cache.
Chehalis,
Centralia,
Centralia, that
somewhere
area.
in there, yeah.
Centralia, yeah, and it's at a garden center, I think. At least it
Yeah.
was when I.
So you have to do it during business hours.
Yeah.
Fantastic cache.
Very good advice.
He survived his 9-hour work meeting and made it for the last half of the show, by the way, Mr. Ham.
That's right. Yeah, it didn't even register to me that. He had mentioned earlier that he had a challenging work afternoon ahead that went into a work evening. Clearly, so well done. Hopefully, everything went well for him.
Bryling wants to know, where can you watch this video, Len Monkey GC?
Well, isn't that the job of the? Hold on, because Brylang sent me the link. And it was funny because Brylang sent me the link, and I had just heard about it on Twitter and was going to check it out as well. So it was good timing. And here's the link. Oops, that didn't work. Well, did it? Hold on. Let's not do that.
I mean, this is great.
There you go. It's in the
not dash everyone dash prepares dash B dash C dash S dash 11 dash riskiest dash hikes.
Because it's a link. It's a link to a news story from CTV News.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure if people in the US will be able to open that. If it's to CTV News, I don't know. Sometimes news channels are funny. TV channel websites are funny. They don't let people outside the country. But anyways, the other thing you can do is just go to adventuresmart.ca and you will find.
There you go.
You'll find that. So
Much
very
easier to
cool
find.
stuff.
Adventuresmart.ca. You don't do the bell anymore. Oh yes.
What bell?
Make a
I
run
don't
for the
have
border.
that sound effect anymore. I only have this one.
That's funny.
Now that's funny. I had to think what the bell was. The bell was to remind Sprouter to turn over while he was tanning.
I forgot about that.
Because he would fall asleep in the tanning bed listening to the show.
That's a throwback. Way
That
back
is a
throwback
deep
reference.
cut. Way to go, Mini Mag.
I'll have to come up with that bell.
There you go. All right. I think we covered everything off.
And Sprouter, go ahead and turn over. You may be burned on one side, but
if you haven't by now, we're very sorry.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us. And until next week, you get out of that tanning bed and get caching in the Northwest.